Hello, everyone, and welcome to Backseat VR Developer, the show where we are playing virtual reality titles alongside of the developers that have created them. My name is Alex VR. I am one half of Between Realities. The other half is right here with me. It's Skeeva. Hey, Skeeva, how you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. I'm ready for some kung fu action.
It's Kung Fu time. We've got Ben Olding, the developer of Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu, here with us today to talk about the game and watch me hopefully shred it. How's it going, Ben?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Look forward to seeing your Kung Fu skills.
You know, not everyone knows this, but I actually have real Kung Fu skills. I did real Kung Fu training when I lived in Sedona, Arizona. Look it up. It's like a magical place. And I actually got to do some like legitimate Kung Fu. So I'm definitely excited to put some of these real Kung Fu skills to the test here in virtual reality. One of the things that I noticed is these really nice controllers. There's like the scene before we started this recording, I actually had different ones. So you have like different skins for the controllers when you load in?
Yeah, one of those things. I just get carried away with these things. Pointless feature, but you know,
I mean,
fun, isn't it?
It didn't go unnoticed. That's for sure. You know, the details are important, especially to us passionate gamers.
That looks great.
All right, so we kind of just got up and running here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about like the inspiration for this game and kind of how it came to be?
Well, it's a long story, but you know, I was a Flash game developer for a long time, and one of my first games was a Dragon Fist game. So it's like kind of a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat knockoff, really. So it's like a side view, kind of crudely drawn. But that was like my first game I made that had any real kind of success anywhere. So and then after getting into VR a bit, I played Blade and Sorcery and Creed, which I really like both of those games. And I thought I could put my own twist on it by adding my old classic game series theme that maybe not many people will know, but it was a kind of a starting point for me, and it makes it a kind of personal game for me. It's nice seeing all these characters in 3D and actually fighting them for real, rather than just watching them, and pressing buttons.
Yeah.
And it was the start of the pandemic, and before the pandemic hit, I was doing martial arts training several times a week, like 5 or 6 times a week, including Kung Fu, and then I went to nothing, so I was almost, I wanted to still do some Kung Fu, but we were in lockdown and it was a bit troublesome. So, all my kind of worlds collided at that point, and this was the result.
Nice. We mentioned kind of attention to detail right there in the beginning, and I have noticed that it seems like you have paid special attention to detail to like making this as accurate as possible. Like people throw around the word kung fu all the time. They just say, oh, kung fu, and they basically use it interchangeably with the word martial arts. They're like, oh, it's kung fu, but then you play a game, it's like, oh, kung fu showdown, and it's not really kung fu, but this feels like real kung fu. It seems like you've really done a lot to try to keep it close to the source.
Well, I wanted to get that kind of feeling of sparring in a martial arts class, but also with kung fu, people don't really know what kung fu is, but it's lots of martial arts really. It just means sort of Chinese martial arts. So I wanted to get a bit of that sort of variety into the game. And also, when you're doing martial arts classes and you're sparring with different people, you kind of learn what they, learn their tricks, learn what they do, and you kind of develop your own skills to counter what they've done. And then often you find that they then learn from you. But I wanted to kind of replicate that a bit in that, you have to learn, you learn how to beat each character. So, sometimes they're difficult before you know their tactics and their moves. So I just wanted to get that kind of martial arts class sparring game across a bit.
There are a ton of characters here. Like how do you, are these like, do each of these characters have like a real life counterpart somewhere? Like, do you dream them up? Like how many characters are in this game?
There's 40, I think, or 40, 42. I think it's 42. There's there's some secret characters as
Yeah,
well.
like I think I know Billy Lee's inspiration.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So he's the most picked character, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
But so the other characters, a lot of them are directly inspired by films. So and then some are from my imagination, and some are a bit of a mix. Some were inspired by the levels. So like I made I made the boxing ring, and I wanted 3 characters to fit in the boxing ring.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of led the character design, if you like, and their stories.
So each character has a special move, right? That's what I'm about to learn here.
Yeah. So I felt I had to do that because otherwise they wouldn't really feel too different to play as. I wanted them all to be different to face, and they are because they're different moves. But of course,
so now I've got like metal fists, like Jax.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, you get like a double hit power on those, which quite a pleasing one, I think.
You mentioned Jax, Alex. It always makes me wonder: is this game inspired at all by Mortal Kombat? I've talked to quite a few people that have played it, and they're always like, "This is the Mortal Kombat of virtual reality."
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I always, big fan of Mortal Kombat. Well, more of the older Mortal Kombat games. I haven't played so many of the.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But yeah, Jax was definitely a cool character. I'm not sure Clayton was inspired by Jax. I mean, Clayton, I think, was more inspired by the Creed games. I like the Creed game because I know a lot of people think maybe it's not as realistic as some of the other fighting games, but I really like the feel of being in a Rocky movie.
You're telling me Jax with his metal arms, or Clayton with his metal arms, isn't from Jax?
Yeah.
It's metal arms.
Well, now you mention it. maybe it was. I never realised that, though. I didn't realise that.
So you can see here how you execute these. There's a button on the controller, and then my hands need to be in this position when I hit it, right? Boom.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's right, yeah.
Okay, that's nasty. That's not even fair. Oh, I probably need to get my special move
So
back up.
make a fist. I think you still had a finger extended.
Fist.
Use the Valve Index controllers. It's a bit different.
Yeah, it is. Oh, there it is. Ugh. Okay, I missed it. But I think I'm gonna take this knife into battle. Oh, look, and here's this. Boom, third person view.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, another pointless feature, but it was kind of one that it was useful for me to help me see what was going on when I was developing it. But also, it's just kind of fun to see what you look like. Again, got all these characters, but if you're just seeing through their eyes the whole time, they're not so different. Although, can you see? Have you got the hat switched on? Can you see the hat?
Yeah, I've got the hat on here.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't show in the mirror view, but what shows in that mirror? Yeah, that mirror was fun as well. I didn't, some player requested that, and
it's nice. It is definitely nice to see yourself in these games. That third person view, even the mirror, like both of them, I definitely appreciate. It kind of like helps place you in the world just a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a fight.
Yeah, so Tien Fu was inspired by a Jackie Chan character.
Oh, nice.
Snake and Eagle Shadow, which is a classic Jackie Chan film.
Jackie Chan's the real deal, man. That guy is going to go down in history. One of the only dudes to just be absolutely 100% legit in movies. Everything that guy's doing, he's actually doing. And he destroyed his body for years to make these movies.
Yeah, it's a legend, really.
He's truly a legend.
Yeah.
Kung Fu's definitely very much close quarters, It's right in here and very tight and almost smaller movements than a lot of other fighting games and things like that. Was it difficult for you to kind of find a balance of it being approachable while staying realistic at the same time?
Well, yeah, I would say it was. I wanted it to all be, fair. I think with a lot of these these types of games, and not that there's anything wrong with this, but you know, often the opponents are a lot weaker than you, and you know, they're just there as kind of cannon fodder. Whereas, you know, I want these to feel more like a, you know, a real opponent, and it be a, you know, I know you're doing a 1 versus 2 fight, but I want it to make it feel like more like a, you know, like when you play like 11 table tennis, you know, there's no advantage to the opponent or you have over the opponent. It's just your skill versus their skill. I want it to kind of feel like that. You know, I think I got it to a degree at least.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I need to make the fist.
So how much do you play your own game? I would imagine that this is a this is a very physical game, right? So you can get some good cardio in here and exercise while you kick some kung fu butt. You play your own game a lot. I mean, you must because you're developing it, right? And
yeah, well, yeah, I'm always playing it. But I've almost got to the point now where I am, because I've been playing it, you know, probably a year longer than everyone else. Well, it still is a challenge, but you know, I know what they're going to do, so I don't have to exert myself quite as much as I did. Although now I've been working on the full body tracking recently, and having to do kicks as well.
Nice.
Suddenly it's exhausting again.
That was one of the questions we had, because we do have some trackers here.
Yeah. Well, it's coming on well. It's just there's some issues with the calibration. It's quite difficult to do and test. Like, partly because I have to do, you know, I find I've done like 1,000 kicks in an hour, and it gets exhausting. But also, you know, I can't resize myself. You know, I can't. So you know, when other people have tried it, you know, some people have gone on well with it, and other people, the characters had like a strange hunch and things like that. So I'm trying to iron out those things at the moment. But with the people that have tested it, you know, it's been well received so far. So hopefully before too long it'll be in. But I don't want it to feel like a mod or like an afterthought. I want it to feel like this is a proper game for, you know, full body tracking.
Yeah, and I would guess that you'd have to kind of balance it accordingly too, right? Because not everyone has full body tracking, and you don't want those people to have an advantage, right, over the people that don't have it. But at the same time, this is a kung fu game, and it'd be great to be able to kick. So.
Yes. I mean, when I've tried it, it doesn't give you the advantage that you think it would, because you've already got the kick button, and it does quite a fast, snappy kick. And the opponents will do that kick. So when you're having to do it for real, you know, you often find maybe you can't kick quite as often or as easily as, you know, that you can just by pressing a button. So it hasn't given a huge advantage. Although it does do, there are some nice things with it. Like just there's the knee pressure point on these characters. I think you might hit it a second ago actually, Alex. Well, that was the lungs. But they count with the feet as well. So you can do like a knee stamp, and then you know, if you hit them in the knee, then they can't walk as quickly for a while. So you can kind of add that sneakily under the radar while punching as well. You know, use some of these different tactics. But as I say, I don't really feel it's made it all that much easier.
Man, the avatars look great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it looks good.
I was very pleased with them. You know, I know they're not the quality of like Half-Life Alyx or anything. They're never going to be. But,
well, you're a solo dev and not Valve, so I will probably give you a little pass on that one.
Well, thank you. No, I'm proud of them. And, you know, I think they're colourful and varied. You know, rather than realistic and bland. You know.
I hope Emma deserves this beating she's about to get, because she looks like a nice lady.
Yeah, I like Emma. I remember when I first put her in, she always used to beat me.
Ooh, she kicked me. So what platforms is this game currently available on?
It's currently available on, well, Steam that you're on, and it's on Pico.
Pico.
And yes, so Chinese headset.
Nice.
So it turned out that I knew the I knew a guy at Pico from the old Flash game days. You know, I worked with him in the past with Flash games. So you know, so I saw him on LinkedIn, and he was looking for. I hadn't even heard of the Pico at the time. But I started working with them. They were, you know, very helpful, and off the back of the Pico version, I've been working on the Oculus Quest version as well, which is it's come on really well. You know, it's not out yet, but it's hopefully it's not far. You know, I never want to say when, because you know, you don't know what's going to happen. But I've got a version on my Quest that runs smoothly, and it doesn't look quite as good, but it's not far off. You know, better than I hoped, really. I had to learn a lot about optimizing for that, and you know, Pico were helpful, and you know, there was a lot of trial and error. You know, it was hard work. But
Is it a pretty big deal to port a game to the Quest?
I think it's more that you kind of make decisions. So on that level, I've got like those trees, and those trees just didn't work on the Quest at all. But of course, you know, you don't know why it's not working. You just know, you go into the level's running slow, you don't know why. So like often you end up stripping the level back and then putting stuff back in, and then you find it was nothing to do with any of that. So I think it'd probably be easier to do it the other way, to make the Quest version first and then spruce it up for Steam.
Is it mainly like just visuals though, you know, like are like the mechanics and all of that, does that all just kind of translate well, or do you kind of have to take a new approach to that stuff too?
The mechanics, you know, there was a few kind of, again, just things to figure out, but it all works pretty well. You know, it all works pretty. It's quite similar. That's what I mean. Yeah. So it wasn't too bad really. I think because I've only ever got a handful of players on screen at once. You know, maybe if I had 50, then you know, there might be more problems with that. So most of the stuff was simplifying the levels and sort of baking the shadows, so like painting the shadows onto the scenery rather than having them generated in real time, that kind of thing.
So do you think that like the wirelessness of the Quest and like other standalone devices will make those like the better platform to play it on, or do you like to play it on like a PC platform and get all of the additional graphics, even though you might be tethered?
It's hard to say really. It is certainly liberating not having a wire. I mean, I've seen people playing on YouTube, and you get that kind of telltale thing where they do a quick 360 because they've obviously got the wire tied around their neck or something.
I've gotten good at the thumbstick after years of standing in front of a camera.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's an extra skill you have to learn, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I got the kung fu skills already, so don't need to learn that. You learn kung fu first, just for VR. Yeah, well, it's similar with me. I've already been studying kung fu, but you know, trying to get it all working in VR was, you know, not a black belt in VR yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
So we're playing currently on the Valve Index, and actually using a bHaptics vest as well, because this has full body haptic support, which is pretty awesome.
Oh yes.
So you can feel yourself getting hit.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And we know that you have this on Pico, and you're currently working on a Quest version, Quest 2 version. So does this work with Windows Mixed Reality headsets, HTC Vive, Vive Pro, all of the standard headsets?
As far as I'm aware, it does, yeah. It certainly works with Windows Mixed Reality. You know, I've got one headset. I've even seen people playing with like the Pico on Steam, you know, connecting it to Steam and stuff. So I'm pretty confident it works with everything.
Nice.
The HP Reverb, I've had people say it works. IMAX, yeah, I'm pretty sure it works with everything, and that's kind of you know what I like really. And if anyone's headset doesn't work, then I'll definitely try and get it running on that. And you mentioned bHaptics. You know, I've got that working on the Quest version 2.
Sweet.
Quest version as well.
Nice.
And you know, even stupid stuff like the the B haptics feet, they the support for those works. I don't know if you're wearing them at the moment, Alex.
Yeah. Well, I didn't bring the feet today. I probably should have. I want the full
Well,
body
there's always-
tracking with the feet so I can really feel them.
Yeah.
Well, those feet work quite well because you can attach the trackers to the feet. So
Right.
they work quite nicely as they fit. You know, they work well for keeping the trackers secure. So that's another thing with the trackers is they you know if they're on your shin then they can move about with a kick. That's good.
Homeboy just knocked me down. So I'm basically like, I'm always trying to drill these guys right in the nose. Like, should I be maybe going for more body shots and stuff, or is it really, really powerful to hit him right in the face?
Well, you know, if it's working, it's working. I think often it depends where it depends on them a bit really. So some people, if they've got their hands in the middle, you know, covering their face, then that's a good time to go for the body, or like a hook punch around to the head.
Really hard.
Sometimes they'll have their hands wide open, you know, then maybe a more direct hit works. Some characters have their hands high, so often it's good to kind of go high and then low.
He's like definitely got this like perpetual like defensive stance going.
I always find him quite difficult. You know, he does these fast finger jabs, so he often ends up getting you in the eye. But, yeah, and he goes quite direct as well.
So what are the minimum requirements to run this on a PC?
Well, I think if you're, I remember one of my friends had a GeForce 960, so quite an old card, and it was a while ago I tested, and it ran okay on that. So I think really, if it works in VR, if your PC runs VR, then it should probably run this game.
Oh, great.
You know, you might have to drop the video quality down a bit. That's the thing, but.
Man, this is awesome. How many environments are in this game?
I think there's 15. Yeah. So this one was there was a movie in the 2000s called House of Flying Daggers, and
You don't have any
and
power.
this
Let me
scene was
teach you
inspired by
how
that,
to
often in a
use it.
misty bamboo forest.
I'm literally waiting for Scorpion to come around the corner and throw a spear at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I did wonder about that. You know, I would like to thought about sneaking in Scorpion, but you know, I don't want to push it too much.
Yeah.
For copyright. I'm waiting for them to phone me up. Actually.
It's like call him Tarantula. Make it like a slightly different color.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
That's good. So Fan Lin inspired by the movie Shaolin versus Lama, which is an excellent 70s, I think 70s, or maybe 80s kung fu movie.
So what about Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
I've never actually watched it.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see that movie.
I should do.
You got to see it.
There's always more to watch.
When you see that movie, I guarantee you'll put a character from that into this. You'll just turn around, you'll go straight to your computer, and you will add him.
Well, yeah. Well, I certainly like to add more characters. I mean, I added 40 in because it doesn't actually take me too long to do a character. That was the bit that takes long about the character is doing a new special move. You know, I kind of made all the characters and then I spent ages trying to make all these different moves.
What
So,
about
you want to try and go for the eyes? I would.
what about finishing moves? Is that something we might see in the future? Some kind of fatality
Fatalities.
or that'd be neat.
I don't know. It's been brought up. Again. It would take me quite a long time to do. I think that's the problem.
Right.
So it's like doing 40 fatalities. It would have, the game wouldn't be out yet if I was doing that. It gets to a point where you just think, there's loads of stuff I'd like to add. I'd love to add weapons. That'd be fun. And yeah.
Oh.
And I've already got the full body tracking and the Quest version, and all these things. I've been flat out as it is, so maybe one day I'll add fatalities, or maybe Dragon Fist 2.
Yeah, there you go. The thing that I would love to see in this game or one like it is some of more of the like inside the arms kind of grabbing kind of stuff, which I can imagine is got to be so hard to pull off in a VR title, you know. But like
Yeah.
a lot of the sparring that I did was very like inside, you know, like getting in and like grabbing an arm and pulling and like a lot of like grabbing, you know. And I would love to see like this go into like slow mo and like get up inside, grab a wrist, pull it back, you know. A little bit more grabbing.
It does get asked for a lot, and you know, I have experimented with it only as far as grabbing arms. You know, I thought that as well. You know, grab an arm down, pull it down, and strike through the gap. But the thing is, it is quite difficult. You know, possible, but it would kind of, you know, just take a lot of time. So maybe I'll add it later. I mean, the thing I also found with it is it doesn't quite feel like it does in real life, because in real life, you know, you feel the strike,
the pull.
and you kind of go with it, and you grab. You know, you have to use that sensitivity in your hands to pull it off.
Right.
And when it's in VR, you don't feel it. So often you end up grabbing when you just wanted to make a fist, or you know, when you try and grab, you don't. And also, you know, it's hard to get it looking right. You know, I was getting fingers going through arms, and
Right.
you know, I'd have to make the sleeves rumple up.
So this is an interesting way to show damage,
messed me
right?
up.
Having your eyes kind of close.
Yeah, so that was his special move. It's supposed to be a sort of blinding special move.
Oh.
And how
So
do you increase your special meter?
by blocking strikes. So every time you take the strike on your arms, it increases, and you can see how much you've got on your right arm.
Ah, I see it.
There you go. In fact, you can see how much he's got on his health bar.
I see
There's that
that.
little blue bar at the bottom.
Oh, he's going for the serpent strike.
So yeah, so you've got two different snake styles here. So your character, Jackie Chan character, sort of inspired, like a sort of snake style inspired by the movies. It's a kind of movie snake style. And Green Serpent's it's got a different snake style, more based on one that I've practiced a bit, which isn't a very well-known one, and not one that I've got any belts in or anything.
Right.
Just patches. But you know, I've done enough to get some inspiration. I think they're probably like that with a lot. I don't know 42 different martial arts, but you know, I've studied a few, and you know, I hope I can do a good impression. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I'm using the force.
Yeah, keep your hands up.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
you got them, well done.
Boom,
Oh, blood.
dude, he went flying like 15 feet. So, I mean, what do you think? Is there anything that like people just absolutely need to know about this game, that maybe there's like a misconception or something that we need to clear up, or, you know, just like something big and important that, you know, we just make sure that we mention while we've got you?
Okay, well, things that people have maybe been confused about. You know, it does. You do move about with the thumbstick, and you can get knocked backwards and forwards. So I know in some other games, like sort of Thrill of the Fight, you know, you won't get knocked flying backwards, and they won't. You know, so it's a bit more like you're in the room. So some people like that kind of level of immersion.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I sacrificed a bit of immersion, you know, in order to have them flying away. But it's also that fairness thing, you know. I didn't want you to hit them and then go flying away without you being able to get hit and go flying away also.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to
So,
have
you know-
everyone feeling like there has to be a challenge here.
I want it to feel like there's two, like, you know, almost like a multiplayer game, like like there's someone in control of it and they've got the same rules as you. That's the thing. But also, I didn't want that kung fu thing of sending people flying. It's also like it feels like when you're doing martial arts sparring, someone kicks you in the chest, you do go stumbling back. So it's kind of more realistic in that way. But not to criticize any other games. I just think it's just a different way of doing it. I think some people expect. I've had this with every game I've ever made. They think, it's like another game, therefore it should be exactly the same as that other game.
So one thing I've been wondering here is, do you have any plans for multiplayer support? Because I could see a lot of people wanting to go in and fight their friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the game, I didn't really want to make it. I wanted it to be a personal game and one based on stuff that I find fun rather than thinking business-wise. And I think certainly multiplayer does fit into that. I want to include all this stuff.
I want to get hit by
the
that.
only thing I'm always very good at using that, to be honest.
Why don't you give up? There's no way you can win.
Oh, really?
So as I was saying, I do want to add multiplayer. It's just I haven't got round to it yet. I thought I added the haptics first because that seemed like something that wouldn't be too. So the B haptics first because I thought that'd be something that would be not too difficult. And then I thought I'd do the full body tracking. Even though only a handful of people have it, I think it'd be cool to add it. And I want it. I want to see it in the game. So once I'm kind of done with that, I'd like to try multiplayer because I agree. I want to play against my friends and try it as well. The only thing is I don't know how easy it will be or difficult. With all the physics going on, it might be that it's too quick. Any lag might.
I think you've got it in you. I'm looking at this game. It's pretty quality. This mirror's not breaking, so as far as I'm concerned, you've got it in you. And multiplayer confirmed, okay?
I promise I'll give it a go at least.
That's all we need to hear.
And that mirror, do you think I should make it? I thought about that. I wondered if it should break. Do you think it should? Might be fun. I wondered about if you broke it. I don't know if you noticed. There's a guy hiding in most of the levels.
I did see him in the last one, off in the distance. He was pretty creepy.
Yeah. He's there in every level, so it's a bit like I don't know. It's just another.
How about like the third punch breaks it? Like ping ping.
Yeah. In fact, if you want, there's which levels have you got unlocked? Because I can tell you. Have you got the restaurant? If you go to the restaurant level, so
this one
forward, and smash that. Yeah, again, this is just a bit of one of those things, a bit for a laugh. So don't fight him.
I think you're nuts.
Okay, abandon that.
Oh, I shouldn't have hit that so soon. I was ready.
I'm just too eager.
I know I am.
Right, so abandon fight. Yeah. Okay, now turn to your left a bit. And on what you see on the wall there's that photo over there.
Here.
Yeah. So if you smash that, you see that there's a photo of two people there.
Whoa.
Oh, that's cool.
Now you're off.
Yo, let's go.
The hidden level. So.
Yeah. This is what I'm looking for right here. Oh man, hidden level. All right. Well, this is not a spoiler-free stream, everybody. This is where you're going to find the secrets to Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu.
If you can't find these on YouTube, where will you find them?
These guys, they have one arm.
They have one arm each, yes.
Wow.
So there is another mode in the game, the one-arm boxer mode, where you fight as one of these guys. So it was one of the testers, a guy called Kiln. He said his one of his controllers ran out of battery, and he had fun fighting with just one hand.
Well, that's great for accessibility purposes too, because there are plenty of people out there who only have one.
Yeah, true. Yes, true. So, but yeah, so you can use it as a challenge, and you can. One of my other players said they used it to train their non-dominant hand.
Oh, that's smart.
Which is fun. But also, I just thought I had these characters that I made for it, so I thought, well, I put them there as a double act.
I'm into it. What do you think, Skeeva? Is anything else from you?
No, this has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get in here later and get a little bit of a workout in.
Dude, yeah, I've got a
kick
little bit
some
of a
butt.
sweat going here, man. Oh, that guy just dodged my punch. Well, I mean, Ben Olding, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of course.
Pleasure all mine.
The game
I
is...
can always talk about this game, you know. I worry about stuff like this, but I can't stop myself talking about it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You know, it's amazing to me that it's a one-man dev team, so congratulations and please keep it up. The game is Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu. It is the real deal, and it's on Steam, coming to Quest soon. And I think that's it for us, everybody, isn't it, Skeeva? Are we
That'll
good?
do. That'll do.
All right, that's it. Backseat VR Developer, Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu, Ben Olding. Thank you again, and we will see you all very soon for the next episode of the show. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye-bye.